What's up, guys? I am back from my long break, which has been like 5 months. So, the reason I've been gone is because I had to focus a lot on school and stuff. But I am back. So, what we're gonna do is I've found a new game, The Strongest Battlegrounds. I have a lot of kills because I've got quite engaged into it, and I like it a lot. And my avatar's also changing the bacon a lot. It's Megumi now in the SpongeBob shirt, tuck pants, and a Christmas hat. So basically, Strongest Battlegrounds. You have You have all these characters you can just get by pressing this. You have 4 moves at the bottom and a bar that you can get to get your ultimate, also an awakening. Now, if you're on PC, if you left click it will hit someone. That's called an M1. Just that. If you're on mobile, there'll be sort of like a punch button. So that's how you punch if you're on mobile or PC. Now that you can also do dashing like this. Now to dash if you're on PC, you've just got to press Q and it'll dash forward. If you want to side dash, press Q and D and it'll side dash. There's also this thing called back dashing, which is this. If you just press Q and S, that'll dash. So Q is dash. So actually, I think it'd be to be honest. And then you have 4 moves at the bottom, and you can also block. Press F for block. And on mobile, there'll be a whole screen. There'll be the dash buttons at the bottom. There's a block and stuff like that. There's a jump button, as you know. So if you want to create a combo, it's basically a set of moves that someone cannot get out of it. But that's a combo, so they cannot get out of it. So I'm going to be teaching you a few basic combos for Saitama and every single other character in the game. So we're going to start off by, don't use your normal punch like that. Well, actually, hang on. If they were coming towards you, don't use your normal punch like that. Always do 3 M1s, which is 3 clicks, 2, 3, and then do it, and then you'll get a lot more power out of that. See, my body just flashed because I got my ultimate, but I'm going to show you a combo you can do with normal punch. Now, there's sort of different types of M1s, like the down slam, which is basically 3 M1s, then you jump. So 1, 2, 3, jump. No, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, jump, and then click. Then there's also the uppercut. Now you see you've got a little power here, but I find it really hard to do uppercuts. That's an uppercut, and then this is like the uppercut power. So you can do all those sorts of types of stuff. Now on mobile, it is impossible to do an uppercut. So if you try and do an uppercut on mobile, it will just do a normal M1. But you can do a down slam on mobile. There's also a down slam finisher, where basically it's a little bit more cool animation. So I'll show you a little combo. Now, this is just a little combo for a normal punch, honestly. So 3 hits, and then just normal punch, and then we get them quite low, and they can't escape it unless when they land. Okay, I'm just gonna go spawn a bunch of dummies. Now, you can do this really cool thing where you can do. Hang on, I just need to get this right. So you can do this really cool thing where you uppercut and then hit them, which that works really well, but it doesn't do as much damage, but it's still a nice combo. And then you've got to time it really good. So once they're like halfway in the air, so like once they're like there, you want a normal punch. Now so that's a normal punch combo. To all your mobile players out there, you cannot do this combo. Instead, you can snap. Okay, moving on to consecutive punches. Now, they're very useful for combos. Now, what I would do for consecutive punches is do 3 M1s and then do it. And then they fall on the floor. So, after doing that, you end up... Please, bro. Why does it keep showing up everywhere? So, 3 M1s and consecutive punches. Now, now let's try a little combo with consecutive punches. So I'm just gonna spawn another dummy real quick. By the way, you do need to pay PS Plus commands, which is 500 Robux if you want to spawn a bunch of these and have no cooldown. Obviously, I have that on because I need to show you guys. Just saying that you will have. It won't be like this. It won't be like that in a public server. So let's go ahead and try a combo. And then that's it. That's a combo. Now let's try combining the normal punch combo. Well, that killed him. Let's try doing the normal punch combo and try and combine it. I just literally told I told you guys not to ignore that. Now you want to really dash. And once you get there, do your little combo. If they're still alive, just do maybe like an uppercut on them and it'll finish them off. Now shove. I can say there's a pretty So for shove, I would just do the same thing as consecutive punches. Actually, no, normal punch. So uppercut. So bad at uppercut. I am my editor. Cut this out. Yeah, I don't think I'm. Okay. Like that. That's the finisher. So you want to 1, 2, 3. Once they're halfway again, try and hit them, and then once they're there, you want to try and side dash and jump, and then you can do your consecutive punches, and then you can hit them with that, and it will probably kill them if you do it right. So that's a little combo with all 3 of them. And I'll try and include an uppercut. So this is where the down slam comes in. So you want to down slam, side dash. That is a really good combo to get to them. So and you're right there. And then you do 3 M1s, and that will probably kill them. Yeah. So let me show you that again. 1, 2, 3. Down slam. You want to walk for a bit, and then you want to kind of jump and then uppercut. And you can then do your normal punch combo, your other combos, whatever combo you want to do, and just try combining one of them all together. So this is just an example of what you could, hang on, okay, so this is just an example of what you could do. That's just an example of what you could do, and look at the health they're left with. Then if you can dash over them. So try just combining those, see if they work. And another top tip I have for you, if they're on the ground, you can also do, so if they're on the ground like this, you can then down slam them when they're still on the ground. So do them in the air at nothing, and then you can bring this little bit of duration where you can actually still hit them with the down slam, and then you can get into the next slam. Another thing I would recommend if you're down slamming is you could also, so once they're like this, if you front dash and then go behind them to kind of come around here, once they get up, you're hitting them, so they can't really escape. Now, when you do that, I would recommend you to be doing an uppercut on them, because there's this thing called an evasive, and I can show you exactly what an evasive is. Come on, dummy. Okay. An evasive is basically if they're on the floor, they can then dash up, but you can only do that every 30 seconds. So that's an evasive. So watch out for that. And that's Saitama done. So you can just try and mix those combos. Now, a lot of the time I do miss this jump. Don't be disappointed if you can't do it, 'cause I miss a lot, and I'm telling you, I say a lot. I mean a lot. Okay, now we're gonna go over the order. Now it's a bit different to all the other ones because you don't get a bar that runs out, which is really, really good if you're trying to prank some people by like fake AFKing. And we'll start with the first one, death counter. So if you pop it, someone hits you, go around. That's a really cool little animation. And then you just one shot them and then dead. Now that's the first one. So let me just give myself an awakening. Now table flip is a little bit different. So table flip is a pretty good move, I would say. So let's take all these doubles. This is table flip. Okay, music. Go on the ground and then you can jump. Now if they're still there, you'll have no awakening, but then you could uppercut them, normal punch them, and then pretty much just get your ultimate again. So that's table flip. Highly recommend. Right, serious punch is a little bit of a hard one. Yeah, a little bit. Bam! So that's serious punch. It does sort of one shot, but you have to get it in like the right angle. So you'd have to do it like this so it comes around and one shot. So moving on to Omni direction. Oh, I cannot. It is telling you, it is so hard saying that. I think it's omnidirectional punch. So I would recommend down something. Just be careful, they might use their ability. So you might want to try it really sick. One shot ground like some sort of god. So that is the entire strongest hero. Now I am going to split this up into parts because we've already done 14 minutes so far. So I'm going to do strongest hero, hero hunter, and destructive cyborg for today. Actually no, we're going to do hero hunter, and then we're going to do Well, it's called Garu, and I'm a master at this. And there's also this little star. That's monster Garu. Okay, so Garu has 4 moves, just like the other one. His moves are Flood Water. That's twice. Lethal Bomb. And finally, Hunter's Grasp, which is really useful for getting them off the floor. And then also there's Praise Peril, which I can't really show you. I'm gonna try. It's a counter. But I think they removed it. Wait, if you use it. Okay, they added it back. This is Praise Peril. And those are the 4 moves. Now, a combo I would try doing is Flowing Water, aiming the camera, Side Dash, Hunter's Grasp. So that's a little combo. Aim your camera, Hunter's Grasp, and you can side dash again. And you can aim. So that's a little combo. You can do, or get this guy out of here. So that's a little combo you can do. You can do Flood Water, hit your camera a little bit, and then you wanna dash. And that's a really easy basic combo. I'm just gonna clear these entities. I hate this guy. So that's a combo. Once it gets to the end, dash. Once you get good at this, you want to add a down smash, and then it will make them a lot worse damage. And this is a really hard combo that I do, because Garu is my main. That's my combo that I usually do, but there is also like a really, now don't get too worried. Don't worry if you can't do that. I find it difficult. I mess it up all the time. My friend that is good. Hang on. That's called so here's another combo I like to do. Down slam on this grass. Attack. And then there's also this thing, because they're in the air for a little bit, and you can sort of like go around them and hit them. I don't know why it's not working. God, I'm bad. Bro, it's not letting me dash. Let me turn on no dash cooldown. See, it kind of like and it's really weird, and that's really good for text. Another thing. except for that combo that I did. So I'm talking about. Trust me, this took out like right there. I just messed it up. I'm telling you now, this took hours. So another really good technique is headlocking. So headlocking is basically when you do it. Like this tech. Kyoto is probably one of the hardest techs. So it's, and then you have to like dash and then catch them. It's not like that. You have to like very complicated, Garu, I would say. So here's a little combo. That's a little combo. Here's a combo you can do with Hunter's Grasp. And then hit. I would say Hunter's Grasp gives you more. Which is really useful. So here's a little slash. You've got to sort of catch them like you did, and that does 40% damage, just that tech, which is a bit insane. And then you can do the same thing with Whirlwind Stream, but it is harder. And then finally, and then you can do that. So that's combos. I'll slow it down. Basically, you just want to do, and if you're on mobile, just do 3 M1, and then side dash, just ignore all these, just try and do an easier one, so just try and do 3. If you really want to, you can use that, because it takes, whereas your side dash doesn't really take that long. I think it's like 5 seconds with my side dash. I don't know. So just try hitting them 3 times and blowing water, side dashing, and Hunter's Grasping. So, like this. Side dash. Side dashing. That's a pretty good one. Which is this. Now, when you're doing that, you kind of want to like these. I've done Kyoto once in my life, and it was extremely hard. I think that was just luck. So now we're gonna go pop ult. So this is the ult. as for the final one of the video. Now, Monster Guy is one of those little fun characters, and it is quite fun, I would say. Got 4 moves in base. Like I said, now the one bad thing about this is there's only one ultimate move, because it takes a long time to make a full move set and stuff, and they only added this. So we've got the first one, Doom Dive. Now it may look like it does nothing, it just goes backward, but really you just have to press it twice, and then it will. Then we've got Crowd Buster, bam, bam, bam. We've got Hammer Heal. Now I would recommend trying to dash this one, and we've got So, since it's so new, there's only one finisher. It's not like an fully animated one. So, this is a combo for Doom Dive. Now wait until that's. Now you don't want to go all the way and like straight away. You kind of want to wait that long until they get back up. And then yeah, same with Crowd Buster. Really down and they can't just watch out for the enemies. And then Hammer Heal. Hammer Heal. What I would do for Hammer Heal is a down slam, side dash, dash. And then for Binding Claw, you've got to do Binding Claw straight away. There's no waiting. If I you've got to do Binding Claw pretty much instantly, because it takes a few seconds, a few milliseconds. Let me show you what if I did. Dang, I suck. See, I would miss it. So, with Doom Dive, I'll just do a normal Crowd Buster. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. You want to do 1, 2, 3. Now you go to So yeah, just try combining them, and then yeah. And then I'll show you the ultimate. So the ultimate has a pretty sick animation, but this is the start. You get yeah, that